Hi there, Karen Flaherty from Living by Human Design. Hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be talking about the Gate 14, which is all about money and making money. So the sun is in Gate 14 this week. It started midday on November 16th, and it goes until November 22nd. And the Earth is in Gate 8. So we've got two things happening here. We've got the 14 coming off the top of the sacral, which hooks up with the 2, which is still in Uranus. And we've got the 1 coming off the top of the G center, which is still in the South Node, and that hooks up with the Gate 8, which is called Creative Contribution, and that forms a channel. So we've got two channels that get formed this week from the Earth and the Sun being in the 14 and the 8. And so this makes everybody a manifesting generator. Now, what's interesting is that not only this week will people be manifesting generators, but then we move into the Gate 34 and the 20, which makes everybody a manifesting generator. So for the 2 weeks, or the week of Thanksgiving and the week before Thanksgiving, this week, we're all going to feel like manifesting generators, kind of in a little bit of a different flavor each week, but still that same flavor of having the sacral defined and the throat defined through this one through the G, and the other one next week is going to be the sacral straight up to the throat. So if you don't have these centers defined usually and motorized, you will feel like you do this week and next week. So it'll be an interesting time. Lots of people are going to feel like they have extra energy that they don't usually have. Everybody has energy during that week of Thanksgiving because we always have the 3420 there. But this week prior to Thanksgiving, we're all going to feel this energy as well. And so the 214, we call this the channel of the beat. The 1-8, we call the channel of inspiration. It's all about making a creative contribution to the world. And we still have 4 planets that are retrograde: Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune, plus the nodes. So we got this Gate 14, which is called money, usually, or position in great measure, or power skills, because it's also, it has to do with power that comes from the generator or the sacral energy. And so it's the accumulation and retention of power through skilled interaction, coupling grace with control. So basically, it's a kind of a finesse kind of energy, in that and we'll talk about it in a second in the gene keys, but basically it's competence and flair with doing something that you really love. So it's all about really being passionate about what you're doing and having the energy to keep doing it, because usually the 14 is, always comes off the sacral, and 70% of us have that sacral defined. So if you've got the 14 in your chart or the 14 in your energy somewhere, you're going to have this energy. And of course, we all have everything. So at different times, you're going to feel like you have this energy, and it is about having something that you're really passionate about and not compromising on. The incarnation crosses this week are the crosses of contagion, empowering, and uncertainty. And then in the Gate 8, we've got creative contribution, which is all about making a contribution to the world. It's not about just making cupcakes for the next bake sale. It's really about doing something that other people notice, that other people feel good about, that you feel good about. So it's called contribution or holding together in the original I Ching, because the people who make the creative contributions in the world are the people who, theoretically keep the world together, right? They're the ones who are creating something new, creating something that they're passionate about, creating something that feels good for them and for everybody around them. And that's what holds us together as community, as cultures, as tribes, as, religions, as whatever it is, right? That's the kind of stuff that holds us together. So it's the basic worth realized in contributing individual efforts to group goals, right? It's the person who really makes the outstanding contribution that everybody recognizes and really appreciates. And in the Gene Keys, mediocrity is the shadow. Then this is where the mediocrity is when you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. You have this energy, but you're not sure what the passion is all about. And style is the gift, and exquisiteness is the CD. So in the Gene Key 14, the shadow is compromise, the gift is competence, and the CD is bounteousness. And in the graphic, he says, love is a fire that cannot be resisted. And the love that he's talking about here is really the love of having something to do that's worthwhile. It's the passion we have for what we do. And it's not work in the work sense, although it is contributing to society and making a difference, but it's not, it's having the competence versus the compromise, right? So it's really doing some things. People with the 14 who are compromised in what they're doing, it's not working. It's the kind of stuff where you can work hard and day after day, week after week, year after year, and do it really well, but just not have any passion for it. That's a compromise. When you're doing something that your parents wanted you to do, that's a compromise. When you're doing something that your friends are doing, that's a compromise. When you're not doing the unique thing that you're here to do, it's a compromise. And so you want to get out of doing anything that's really a compromise in your life. Seriously, anything that's a compromise is not good for you. It's not going to help you. It's not going to make you feel good. And you're going to demean the genius of you if you're not doing what you're here to do. So it's really all about the purpose and the passion and moving forward without compromise. And sometimes that's not easy. And sometimes it hurts. And sometimes it hurts other people because you're not going to be the lawyer or the doctor or the, construction worker that your parents wanted you to be. It doesn't matter. It's not who you are. And they don't know that. And they won't realize it until you find your passion, until you find what really excites you. Everybody's got this genius, and this genius is there to be found and hopefully cultivated by your parents and your teachers, but not always. Mine certainly wasn't. Maybe yours wasn't either. But when you find it, you'll know it. That's all I can say. When you find what you're really here for, and so what we hope for from the parents is that they allow you the independence or at least the opportunity to find that thing that really feels good for you, that's an adventure, that's your passion, that really rings your bells and feels good to you. So the gift is competence here. And so Richard says, whenever you compromise, you're settling for second best. And so you can never fully enjoy what you do in life. And, how many of us have gone through that, years and years in whether it's corporate America or some job that we've had that we just didn't feel good about. We were good at it because most of us are generators and manifesting generators. I could do well at any job I had, but did I have a passion for it? It became really obvious after a while, and I didn't have a passion for it. And the funny thing I read in Richard's, Gene Key's book, is that this can even affect fertility. If you're not doing what you're here to do, what you feel passionate about, it's going to affect it. It could affect your fertility as well. So that was an interesting little tidbit. Also, competence carries within it efficiency, enthusiasm. So when you're in the gift of competence, when you're really doing what you're here to do and it feels good for you, then what happens is you get this efficiency, enthusiasm, flair, and flexibility, the 4 keys to material success. And that's why we call this gene key or this gate 14 one of the lucky gates in the only lucky gate really in the whole chart. It's got the 4 keys to material success, because if you can be efficient at what you love doing, you've got the enthusiasm for it or the passion, you've got a flair for it, you're doing it uniquely and differently than everybody else, and you're doing it with flexibility because stuff happens, right? And you have to be flexible about it. Those are the real keys to success. So if you can put those 4 together, you've got a winner. So there's a whole bunch of people who were born during this Sun Gate 14. They would have the right angle cross of contagion, the empowering and uncertainty. And so it's everybody from, President Biden has a birthday this week, Jodie Foster, Indira Gandhi, the former Prime Minister of India. These are people who were following their passion, right? Larry King, Ted Turner, Margaret Atwood, Goldie Hawn, we're going to be talking about in a minute, Voltaire, George Gallup, the original Gallup polls, Lorne Michaels from SNL, and Troy Aikman. So Goldie Hawn was born November 21st, 1945. She's going to be turning 77 years old on the 21st, and she was born in Washington, D.C. She grew up in and around Maryland area, and so she's a projector with a 5-1 profile, which is kind of interesting. I wasn't sure, if she was Sacral energy or not, but she's not. She actually has the open sacral and just two gates off there, which is interesting, the 14 and the 59, both of which have played out nicely for her. The 14 is all about, money and doing something you're passionate about, right? That she's got the flexibility, she's got the flair, she's got the enthusiasm, certainly, and she's got the efficiency. She is somebody who's been very active over the years, but taking time off for, when she got married, when she had her kids, when she's got three children altogether, but two were born when she was quite young, and then one came along later on, which works for a projector. So she's an American actress, dancer, producer, singer. She's won an Academy Award and Golden Globe for Cactus Flower, which was a while ago. And but since then she hasn't won any awards, but she does have a foundation that she's running now called the Hawn Foundation, and she has this mental health. And what she does through the foundation is a mental health activity for children called Mind Up, and it's all about creativity and mental health and helping kids to assess what it is they want to do or how they want to do it, and helping them with their mental health. And she's really passionate about that too. So she's got an interesting chart in that as a projector, she does have the defined head and ajna. And it's through the logical circuit, which, you'll probably laugh at, but she is very logical. She has both the defined head and ajna. And so she was able to remember all the lines and acting and sing lyrics when it comes to singing and things like that. So she's actually quite logical. She might look a little, frazzled sometimes, or a little not logical, but she really is. And she's actually a very interesting interview if you've ever seen her. She's got she just chose to play zany characters because that fit for her. She has the open throat. She's got down here, she's got the defined G center, which connects down to the spleen and then connects up to the will center and down to the root. So she's got two motors. So for a projector, two motors, the will and the root center, that's actually quite a bit. And having the defined head and ajna. So she's really got a lot going on in the chart that some other projectors don't have, I'll just say. And so she is here to be wise and to guide and direct the energy of others, as projectors are, but she does it with quite a bit of verve and energy. And so she has this, so besides the logical circuit or the logical channel up here, she also has this 5710, which is the channel of perfected form. Interestingly enough, last week, King Charles has this also, and it's this channel that has you with the 57 have intuition, and then the 10 being the love of the self. You're able to protect yourself in an intuitive way, but as a result, you're able to protect others as well. So she's very much about family and about taking care of people. That spleen also helps her to be very nurturing and caring for people. But she has this entire channel of the salesperson with a will center, with the connected will center. And so the combination of the will center, which is very empowering for other people to be around, and the spleen, which is very nurturing for people to be around, that really creates this environment of somebody who can be very persuasive in a nurturing way. And that's why we call it the channel of the salesperson. The other reason is that 44 is all about finding the right people. So, as a producer, as an actor, as a singer, she's going to find the right people to work with. And then with the 26, the gate of integrity, she's going to be able to educate or empower them to know, to find out if it's the right fit for them, right? So that she can let them know, well, this is what we're going to be doing, and this is the script, and this is how we're going to go about it. Is that something that's interesting to you? So she's able to educate and empower with that energy. As I said, she's got the 14 coming off the sacral and the 59. So those are the only two gates that filter her sacral energy when she is taking it in from other people. And so the 14 is all about money and finding your passion and making money at it, which she has done. And the 59 is all about sexuality and sensuality and intimacy. And so she's used that to great advantage in her career, because many times she's playing the, earlier in her career, she's playing the ingenue, the sought after woman. Later on, she's still the, kind of sexy. Off the emotional solar plexus, she's only got the 55, which is all about spiritual abundance. And she has that where right up in her incarnation cross. So this is important for her. So is the 59, also right up in her incarnation cross, sexuality and intimacy. So that makes sense, right? The 14 is all about the money and finding your passion. The 8 is about making a creative contribution. 59 is sexuality and sensitivity and sexuality and intimacy. And then the 55 is about spiritual abundance and helping other people once you get to spiritual abundance, to find and to help other people get there as well. She does have, no surprise, she's got the 1858. 58 is all about the joy of life, right? And so she's able to help correct things and bring people closer to the joy of life, and she's got that root center defined. So she's very grounded and rooted and reliable, and she can be counted on. She might seem flighty, but she's not. She's a real family person. It's very important to her and Russell, who's her partner now, to be that rock, really, for the rest of the family. It has actually has a lot of gates coming off the throat, which probably has allowed her, with an open throat, taking in the energy of the other people around her, right? But to be able to speak in a way that resonates with people with all these gates defined. That's a lot of gates defined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gates. 7 out of the 11 gates coming off the throat center, she's got defined. So I'll just go through them real quick. It's the 62, which is all about details, which probably helps with lines and lyrics. 31, which is influence. That 8, which is making the creative contribution. 33, which is about privacy. She needs her privacy every day. The 45, the gate of the queen, which allows her to be a presence when she is in the room. The 12, which is about caution, about her reputation. If you know Goldie Hawn, I can't think of one, I haven't read of one thing where she was off kilter or said something that was, considered to be a scandal or had a scandal. And the 35 is the gate of change. And so she's one who really does like things to change up, which again kind of fits with the persona. So that's Goldie Hawn. I hope you have a great birthday, Goldie. And just by the way, I took Kurt Russell's chart, and he's a manifesting generator, an emotional manifesting generator. And so it's a nice fit for the two of them, and they're coming up on their they met in 1983, so coming up on 40 years of being together. So which is really great for a projector to be in that solid a relationship for that length of time. It gives her a great feeling of recognition and approval, and Kurt is probably very happy to be in the presence of somebody who's got such wisdom and direction for the entire family. So happy birthday, Goldie. Hope you have a great time. And I hope you have a wonderful time this week. You'll be feeling, if you're not a manifesting generator, you will be feeling like a manifesting generator. So just be aware of your energy, because it's going to go on for almost 2 weeks between now and right after Thanksgiving. Be aware, use it wisely, use it well, and don't burn yourself out with too much activity if you're not used to that. At least give yourself little naps or times for rest if you're not usually a sacral being. So have a great week, and I'll see you next time.